Question number 1. During the reign of which king did Hosea prophesy? Ahaz, B. Hezekiah, C. Jotham, D. Hosea, and E. all of the above. The answer is all of them.
Oh, the
All
above.
of them, Hosea chapter 1 verse 1. Or who was the king of Israel at Hosea's time? Is it Ahaz, B. Hezekiah, C. Jeroboam, D. Jotham, D. Hosea? King of Israel during Hosea's time. Okay, it is Jeroboam. Hosea chapter 1 verse 1 again. Number 3. Who did God ask Hosea to marry? A. Delilah, B. Jezebel, C. Leah, D. Tamar, E. none of the above. The answer is none of the above because it is Gomer. What name means, "For I will no more have mercy on the house of Israel"? Is it A. Loami, B. Lorohama, C. Jeho, D. Jezreel, E. none of the above? Which of these name means, "For I will no more have mercy on the house of Israel"? The answer is letter B. Lorohama, verses 6 and 7 of chapter 1. Number 5. What name means, "For you are not my people, and I will not be your God"? A. Loami, C. Lorohama, C. Jeho, D. Jezreel, and E. none of the above. You are not my people, and I will not be your God. The answer is Loami, verses 8 and 9 of chapter 1.
Magkapatid.
Yes, they are. Number 6. Where do the gold and silver men used to worship idols came from? A. From God, B. from the plunder of war, C. gift from the kings, D. bought from merchants, and E. all of the above. During Hosea's time, they offer idols or they make idols. Where does the gold come from? It comes from God. Hosea
0%.
chapter 2
Walang
verse
nakakuha.
8.
Walang tumama!
Okay. Next number 7. Why do people return to God as shown in Gomer's reaction? A. Life without God scary. B. They remember how much better it was before. C. Scared of death. And D. all of the above. Why do people return to God as Gomer's reaction? Letter B. They remember how much better it was before. Chapter 2, verses 7 and 8. What will God say to them which were not his people? A. Depart from me. B. I never knew you. C. You are not my people. D. A and B. And C. None of the above. What will God say to them which were not his people? The answer is letter B. They were not his people because of sin, but you are still my people according to God. Verses 23 of chapter 2. How did the Lord tell Hosea to love the adulterous woman? A. According to the love of the Lord towards the children of Israel. B. As a father loves his son. C. As a mother loves her child. D. As a mother hen loves her chick. And E. None of the above. Okay, everyone got that. Number 10. In the analogy of Hosea and Gomer's life, how does God bring people back to Him? A. God waits for the person to return. B. God buys them or redeems them. C. God gave trials and hardship in life. D. All of the above. And E. None of the above. How does God bring His people back? It's all of the above, according to Isaiah chapter 3, verse 2. Next number 11. Why were the Lord's people destroyed, recorded by Prophet Isaiah in chapter 4? A. Because they committed adultery with the inhabitants of the land. B. Because they wanted a king. C. For lack of knowledge. D. For worshipping idols. And E. None of the above. Why were the Lord's people destroyed as recorded by Prophet Isaiah in chapter 4? Because they lacked knowledge and they rejected
My memory
the
verse.
knowledge. Yes, Hosea 4:6. Number 12. What will God do to His people who rejected and forgotten the law of God according to Isaiah? A. Send them to slavery. B. Allow being captured by enemies, taken by the wild beast and pestilence. D. God will also forget them. And E. All of the above. What will God do to those people who reject them?
I hope I'm right.
God will also forget them. Isaiah 4:6. What consequences people get when they have ceased obeying the Lord? A. They shall eat but have not enough. B. They will engage in prostitution but not flourish. C. Taken into captivity. D. All of the above. And E. A and B. Consequences people get when they ceased obeying the Lord. According to Isaiah 4:10, it is A and B. They shall have eat but not enough. They will go to prostitution but have no children. Number 14. What is the real damage from alcohol and prostitution? A. They become sick. B. Accident and death. C. Take away their understanding. D. No forgiveness. And E. None of the above. What is the real damage from alcohol and prostitution? According to Isaiah 4:11, the Lord will take away their understanding. The old wine and the new wine take away understanding. How did Israel backslide or slide back? As a backslider heifer, backsliders, as a dog returns to his vomit. D. As a sow that washed her walling into the mire. And E. None of the above. The answer is A, found in Hosea 4:16.
Like a female cow.
Yeah, calf
Heifer.
or heifer. Number 16. Who did Hosea prophesy would fall? A. Babylon, C. Israel, C. Judah, D. All of the above, and E. B and C.
Mali yung pindot.
Who did Hosea prophesy would fall?
Mali nga ang pindot.
Okay, all of the above. Okay, Israel and Judah, including their enemies, would fall. Next one. With what was Judah's goodness compared? A. As a morning cloud, B. As a shadow, C. As an early dew it goes away, D. A and B, and E. A and C. That means there are two answers. What goodness is compared? Select only one.
Okay.
Select only one, but there are two answers.
There are two answers. So A and B or A and C?
Sabi
The
na nga
answer
ba?
is A and C. It's,
Hindi naglalas ang goodness nila eh.
yeah, it doesn't last. Number 18. What does the Lord's desire? A. Mercy and not sacrifice. B. Obedience. C. Knowledge of God more than burnt offering. D. All of the above. And E. A and C.
A and C
The
na naman.
answer is A and C.
Hello?
Hosea 6:6. To what is Ephraim likened? A. A basket of summer fruit. B. A cake not turned. C. A silly dove without heart. D. All of the above. And E. B and C. Ephraim is likened to. It's
B and
likened
C.
to a
Katudalawa
cake
din ang
not
answer.
turned and a silly dove without heart. 7 verses 8 and 11. Okay, that ends for our first quiz. You have to log out and we'll proceed to the next